Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Kill Team Battle Report. I'm Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from Casa de Neil, where I'm about to fight a kill team battle between my Legionaries and Neil's Tombworld. So the story that we've got going on here is that this planet was being run by the Dark Mechanicum. It was a forge of the Dark Mechanicum, producing the material that the Black Legion were using on their fight throughout the galaxy during this the Black Crusade. And it was producing a lot of material for the Crusade, keeping the war machine running, despite rumors that the war machine ran only on hate. It actually also ran on material that the Dark Mechanicum were providing to them. But unfortunately for the forces of chaos, or perhaps exactly as the Tzeentch Dark Gods would desire, this planet also happened to be a Tombworld, and the Tombworld, the group of Necrons in there decided this was the time to wake up, and they started to overwhelm the planet. Very quickly became realized that this planet was going to be a loss, as most planets where the Tombworld opens up or awakens become. But the Warmaster required some more material before they completely gave up on this planet. So he demanded that some of his loyal warriors hold the line and keep this planet and this facility operating for as long as possible, so that more and more material could be produced and brought to the front lines in their fight against the Corpse Emperor and his cronies. So that's the story that we've got going on. We're going to be playing the Domination mission, Domination from the core rulebook. Essentially, there are 5 objectives on the table, 2 in each of our deployment zones, and 1 in the center of here. So there's 2 more over on that side. And essentially, what happens is you can do an action on these to claim them for yourself. So you claim the dominion over those objective markers, and they remain under your control even if you are not within the 3 inches of them, until they remain in your control until the end of your until your opponent performs that action again on that objective. So it's yours until your opponent physically takes it back from you. And then at the end of each turning point, you score 1 CP you score 1 VP if you control 1. You get, I think, 1 VP if you control 2. And you get 1 VP if you control more, and then you get 1 VP for each in your opponent's deployment zone that you can control. So that is the story. We also have our secondaries chosen as well, our TAC ops. So that is going to be the story. That is going to be the mission. Before we go any further, though, let's show you the 2 kill teams that are going to be fighting it out. So for the Legionaries, we have a Legionary chosen. We have a Shrive Talon, we have an Anointed, we have a Butcher, we have a Gunner with a Plasma Gun, and a regular guy with a Bolter. For the Necrons, he will have a fire team of Warriors with Gauss Reapers, and a fire team of Flayed Ones. Alright, going over deployment here. We've got my Gunner up in a vantage point up over here. We've got down below there, we've got my Chosen and the Butcher on this objective on this side. And then on this side, on this flank, around here, we have my Anointed, the Scribe Talon, and my other regular guy with a Bolter over there. Going over deployment for the Necrons, we've got a Flayed One here and a Flayed One there, along with a Necron with the Gauss Reaper there. Up on top, we've got a Gauss Reaper Warrior. Down below, we have a Flayed One and a Warrior. Another Warrior up in the gantries over here. Another Warrior back over on this side, along with the 2 other Flayed Ones. So, that is deployment. Now, we will be doing the scouting phase. The way it works is you have 3 options. You can fortify, which allows you to place an additional barricade. You can infiltrate, which will allow you to do a let's change one of your orders during the first turning point, because otherwise you're stuck with the one that you used. Or you can recon, which will allow you to take a free dash action at the beginning of the turn. This will also act as a way to choose who will go first, using rock, paper, scissors, where fortify beats infiltrate, infiltrate beats recon, recon beats fortify. So that is the way it is. So now we will do that right now. we will have our dice and show them for what they are. So 1, 2, 3. My opponent chose 3, I chose 3, so we will be going, both of us will be doing dash actions here. But my opponent was the attacker, I was defender. I won the roll-off and chose to choose my deployment zone. So my opponent is the attacker, and he gets the initiative because of that. So if there's a tie, it goes to the attacker. So that is going to be it for the scouting phase, so we'll come back to you with turning point number 1. All right, so into the strategic step of the strategy step of the first turning point here. We both gained CP, so we're at 3 CP each because of having our leaders on the table here. We also then chose to reveal tac ops here. So I chose to reveal 2 of mine. Dark Desecration, which is a specific one for the Legionaries. Essentially, I reveal it at the first turning point. Choose a piece of terrain that has the heavy rules, so we're going to choose those, that center one there. If 2 or more enemy operatives are incapacitated while within triangle of that terrain feature, you can score 1 VP. If you achieve the first condition at the end of the battle, the total APL of friendly operatives within that terrain feature is greater than that of the enemy operatives, you score 1 VP. So the terrain feature in the middle here, we're just going to have like the walls and the big tanks and stuff have the heavy there, as well as these big bad boys and stuff like that. So those are the ones that are going to have heavy there. Then I also chose to reveal route. So you can reveal this tech op, this target reveal step of any turning point. If any operative is incapacitated by a friendly operative within red of your opponent's drop zone, you score 1 VP. If you achieve the first condition and any subsequent turning points, you score 1 VP. My opponent did not reveal any tech ops. Then we had our strategic ploys that we went back and forth with. My opponent did Skulking Killers, right? Skulking Killers. Essentially, his flayed ones can do a charge action even if they have the conceal order. I put conceal on everybody because all those guys are really close range guys. Then I, because of my favorite of the Dark Gods, because of my chosen there, he has the Mark of Khorne. All my guys have the Mark of Khorne except for my 2 guys with guns. They are Tzeentch. So the other guys who are Khorne, I chose to do Blood for the Blood God, which means that my Khorne units, when they charge the first time they strike, if they charge the first time they strike, they get to do an additional damage with that strike. So that is going to be it for the strategic step. We were going to go into the firefight step. All right, so my opponent's first activation will be for his guy over here, who decided to activate and charge into me, and his second APL will be used to fight with me. So we are going to both roll the dice. I've got the Demonic Claw, so it's going to be 5 attacks, hitting on 3+, doing 4 or 5 damage with rending. My opponent has the same thing, so he's got 5 attacks, looking for 4+, or 3+, and doing 4 or 5 damage, because it got changed with the new balanced data slate to increase their damage there, and rending. So here we go, looking for 3s. All right. All right, my opponent's going to spend a CP to reroll one. Into a crit, pretty good. All right, so my opponent struck with his first crit over there. I then struck with my first crit. He struck with his crit, and then I struck with my crit. So he did 10 damage to me, leaving me at 2 wounds left on my anointed there. And then I spent the last one to, and then I incapacitated him with those attacks there. So he is incapacitated, but I took a lot of damage. All right, to my activation, I'm going to activate my warrior down here with the bolt gun. He does have the Tainted Rounds upgrade, and he is going to activate. He is going to claim that objective over there, and then he is going to shoot into his Dubro over here, into his flayed one out in the middle there. So it's going to be 4 attacks here. I'm going to have 4 attacks looking for 3s. With the tainted ammo, it becomes 4 or 5 damage. All right, I am going to... So Tzeentch could have taken a 5. I'm going to spend a CP to reroll one of these. Nope, so that's just going to be 3 regular and 1 crit. So my opponent has 3 defense dice, looking for 4 pluses. Getting a crit and a regular, so you'll block the crit and block the regular, one of the regulars, so he will take 8 damage.
Not dead.
Not dead. My opponent activated that guy that I just shot and moved and dashed him into cover over here. All right, so I activated my my anointed. And I decided to activate the demon, let the demon take over in there, so he is going to activate now. I charged into his operative over there, and now I will roll our attacks here. So we're both hitting on 4s because we're both wounded. Alright, with this crit here, I will strike with my first one, which will take him out of action because he's only got the 1 wound left there. And then I dashed after there with my 3rd APL. His warrior back there claimed that objective back over there. I'm going to activate my gunner up here with the plasma gun. He does have vantage and can draw a line of sight to his warrior back over there, so I'm going to shoot him. I am going to supercharge with the plasma gun, so it's going to be 4 shots, hitting on 3s. So I will take 3 wounds here. AP is AP1. Okay. I am going to... One second. All right, I'm going to spend a CP to reroll that 1 into a 4, so that's 2 regular hits. So my opponent does have cover, so he's going to take the cover save, and then he has 1 other because it's AP1. No, it does not make that. So he will take 5 damage. Okay. So his warrior over here activated, took that objective back over there, claimed it. And my leader over there claimed that objective and then moved and dashed over to here. All right, his operative here moved up and claimed that objective in the middle there. All right, so then I activated my butcher, who charged into his guy up over here. So he does have the grizzly trophies, which means that my opponent will have 1 less attack. He is Khorne, did charge. His weapon has vicious blows, so he will get a relentless, so I can reroll all of my attacks here. So these are going to be looking for 4s, and my opponent's going to be looking for 3s.
Yes.
Okay.
These are both crits now.
He does have lethal 5+, so those are 2 crits. I'm going to reroll this into a crit, and because it... oh, no, that is not rending. So that's what I have. We'll come back. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to strike with a crit. Because Blood for the Blood God is active, he will be doing 8 damage to him there. My opponent gave them all phase blades, all of his warriors there. So it is actually, this will be a crit. So my opponent's going to strike me, doing 4 damage to me, and then I will strike him and knock him out of combat there. Then, once I do that, my last APL will be spent to claim that objective. So my opponent has activated his flayed one over here who charged into me. So we are now going to roll. I've got my 4 dice. I do not get the relentless with this now because it's not during the same activation that I charged. My opponent does have 1 less attack because of grizzly trophies though. So he's going to have 4 attacks looking for 3s. I've got 4 attacks looking for 4s. Alrighty.
I'm going to burn a reroll.
So because he's because I have this, I'm going to take one of these because of being Khorne as a crit there, and that is what I've got here. My opponent's going to spend a CP to reroll 1. Okay, into a 1. All right, so my opponent activated, did first and struck me with a regular attack here, doing 4 damage to me. I then parried his last attack and then killed him with those. All right, so my Shrieve Talon then activated, moved and dashed up to here, then it passes last. My opponent activated his warrior up here, who just moved into position. And now my my gunner here is going to fire Overwatch. He is going to fire into his warrior back over there. So I'm going to have 4 shots here, looking for 4s. I am, yeah, I'm going to supercharge. Okay, getting a crit and 2 hits. The 3 is not a hit because it's Overwatch. So it's AP2 now. So you're just gonna have the 1, which was gonna be a regular crit with a regular save that you can take there. Yeah, it doesn't make a difference because you only have what? How many ones left?
4.
4 left. Yeah, this is gonna kill you with the first shot that goes through. So he is going to be dead. Then his other warrior over here moved and dashed down here from the gantry there into position. All right, my opponent has activated and charged into my leader over here. He has the Demonic Blade, so I'm going to have 5 attacks looking for 2s. My opponent has 5 attacks looking for 3s.
Nice.
Alrighty.
So I can change one of these to...
One second. Alright, I'm going to spend a CP to reroll one of my dice there. Into a 1 over there. Alright, so my opponent struck with a crit here. Because it was rending, he gets 2 crits, so he struck with a crit. I then struck with my crit, and because it's a demon blade there, I gained back 2 wounds. So he did 4 or 5 damage, so he did 5 damage to me here. I regained 2, then he struck me again here, and then I did this, so 7, he will be dead after that one. I had no one else that I could shoot Overwatch with, so then my opponent activated his leader over here to attack into me again here. So he is going to have 5 dice looking for 2s because he's the leader. And then I'm going to have 5 dice looking for 3s because I am wounded. Alrighty, so I got
no crits.
No crits, and I got 3 hits over here. We'll come back to. Alright, so because I'm Khorne, I get to retain one of those as a crit. My opponent struck with his regular one, doing 4 damage to me, which left me at 1 wound left after I regained the wounds before. I then struck with this crit, doing 7 damage to him, regaining 2 wounds, putting me back to 3 after he knocked me down to 1 with that. And then my opponent struck me with a regular one, killing me. All right, and that's going to be it for this first turning point here. We will now, I did get 1 point for Dark Desecration because I killed the 2 models on that terrain over there. I did not get rout because I didn't kill any of his guys that I knocked out. Were not while I was behind enemy lines there. So we will now roll off to see who will have initiative going into turning point number 2. I rolled a fill face, so we will have a Legionaries turn activation here on turning point number 2. Woo! All right, so into the strategy step of the second turning point here. We both gained a CP, so I'm at 2. My opponent's at 1. He is going to spend 1 CP on Implacable March, giving him an additional circle if he chooses to activate them into engage. I am going to do reveal Savage Butcher here. Probably should have done it last turn, but c'est la vie. We learn lessons. I'm going to choose my Shrieve Talon over there because I think he's most likely to survive to kill people this turn. So if he kills 2, I score a VP. If he kills 3 in combat, I will score 2 VP. And that is the end of the strategy step here. So we do have, my opponent did spend, because Reanimation Protocol is 0 CP now. So he did do it in the beginning when I first lost his first guy over here. So we have to roll on a 3+, right? Is it?
Yep.
On a 3+, he will revive. He does, so he comes back. So he will be right back over there. And he gets, what's he start with?
You set him up, close. He has D3 wounds remaining.
D3 wounds remaining.
But he won't get the freebie wounds, unfortunately.
Yeah, so you'll not get the 2 there. So you'll have 3 wounds though, so that's pretty good. So he's going to be alive with 3 wounds over here. And then his leader did gain back 2 because of living metal, so he should be good to go. So we'll come back to you with the firefight step. So into the firefight step, I'm going to activate my Shrieve Talon first. He's going to go charge into my dude bro over here. Nope, nothing there. So I'm gonna have 5 attacks hitting on 3s. My opponent has 5 attacks hitting on 3s as well. All right. So because he's Khorne, I'm gonna take one of those as a crit. And actually, unfortunately, because you only have the 3 wounds left, I'm gonna strike you with that, and that will actually incapacitate him because he's only got the 3 wounds left. That's a really awesome roll. But unfortunately, he is incapacitated. Yeah. So my opponent's going to activate his warrior over here, and he is going to shoot into my anointed one over here. So he's going to have, 4 shots here, hitting on 3s with his Gauss Reaper. That is going to be all hits, really good. I don't know crits, so I've got 3 dice here, looking for 3-ups. Making crit and 2 regular, so I will ignore 3 of those. What's the damage on this?
It's just going to be 4.
4 damage. So, because the demon has taken over, I do have a feel no pain. So he's only got 2 wounds left. So I need to see 3 5-ups, otherwise he is incapacitated. Let's see what he can do. Can he? Are the dark gods watching down upon him? Oh no, so close. Oh, and I cannot re-roll it because it's not an attack or defense dice. So close with that fill faces. Ooh, so he is dead, incapacitated. Activated my warrior over here with the bolt gun. He moved and dashed up into position over here, and then he is going to fire down on his leader over there. So I've got 4 dice looking for 3s to hit with the tainted ammunition here. Tainted bolt. So I've got 2 crits and a regular hit. Takes 1 on a regular save on the defense there.
AP?
No AP on this, so it's 2.
So I should roll.
What is he looking for?
Maybe anything better than what you get.
For us?
Oh no!
Just gets 1. So it's going to be doing. Wait 1 second. Let's see. So he is going to be incapacitated. Now his operative up over here is going to activate. He is going to shoot into my guy down here with his Gauss Reaper. So he's going to have 4 shots looking for 3s.
Oh,
getting
yes!
a crit and 2 regular hits. Yep. So that does become P1 because it's the Gauss Reaper there. So I'll have 2 defense dice here looking for 3s. Getting 2 3s. So I will cancel out those ones, and I'll just take the 1 crit damage, which is going to be 5 damage. All right, so my gunner over here with the plasma is going to supercharge and fire into his operative up over there. 4 shots. Hitting on 3s. Oh, I'm going to spend a CP to reroll that. Into another hit, so it's going to be 2 regular hits. So my opponent will take his cover to take 1 of them there, and then he will just take the other 5 damage there. Then my opponent's other operative over here is going to activate. He's going to move up and shoot into my butcher here. So he's going to have 4 shots hitting on 3s. So that's going to be 2 hits. So I'm going to have none of them are crits, so P1 doesn't come into effect. So I will take 1 regular save from cover, and then I will roll 2 more. Making the second one, so he is good to go. Woo! So then my butcher activated and charged into him over here. The reason he moved up there is because he was going to have to move closer to me anyway, and I was going to be in charge range regardless, and he just wanted to get closer to the objective over here. So I charged into him there. So I'm going to have 4 attacks hitting on 5s because he is wounded. My opponent's going to have 2 attacks because I've got the Grizzly trophies hitting on 3s because he's not wounded. And he does have, remember, lethal 5+ because of giving him the phase blade there.
I got it.
Alrighty. So we got crit.
I got 1 crit. And
I'm hitting on 5, so I'm going to re-roll these because it's relentless since he charged. Getting an additional hit there. So we will come back to you. Alright, so I'm going to parry his crit with my crit, and then I will do a regular strike into him for 5 damage. Alright, that's going to be it for the second turning point here. We will now roll off to see who has initiative going into the third. I rolled a 1, my opponent rolled a 2, so it will be to the Necrons here on turning point number 3. Alright, so we both gained a CP. I spent 1 CP on malicious, hateful assault to allow me to fight twice if I so desire. My opponent does have to roll for this guy because he did use reanimation protocols. Let's see if he comes back.
3 or better.
3 or better. Yep, he will be back. So we will put him up there. D3 wounds on him.
Yeah. Let's see if he can do good.
Yeah, he's going to come back with 3 wounds. There you go. And that's going to be it. So we will come back to you with the firefight stuff. All right, so my opponent actually forgot. He revealed something, and I forgot to show it to you guys. He did reveal upload viral code, and essentially it just means that he can try to do an action and score some points. So he did. This guy is more than wide away from him, and he spent his 2 activated to get him a point over there. All right, so I'm going to activate my butcher over here. He gets ceaseless on his weapon because he's the attacker. Did not get relentless because he's not did not charge. He does still have the Grizzly token, so he does have -1 to his attack. So you're gonna have, what is it, 2 attacks, right, on him because he's a warrior, right? So 2 attacks. Here we go. I'm gonna have 4 attacks. He healed back up to 6, so he does not have. He's not wounded. So he's gonna have hitting on 3s. I'm gonna have 4 attacks hitting on 5 because I am still wounded here.
I got him.
Rerolling 1s.
I got him.
All right. So hitting on 5s, rerolling that 1. I'm going to retain the crit and strike for 7 damage and kill him and incapacitate him. And then I'm going to move and dash onto the objective over here. I did not have any other extra APL to do the action, but that's fine. All right. So now my opponent is going to activate his guy up over here, who is going to shoot my guy with his Gauss Reaper.
Gauss Reaper in the face.
So hitting on 3s because he is not wounded because he healed enough.
Don't want to waste my reroll.
It's up to you.
You're too crafty. Let's
All right. My opponent's going to spend a CP to reroll. All right. Here we go. Here comes his reroll. Into a 5. So that's going to be 4 regular hits into me over there. So I'm going to have 3 dice looking for 3s.
I got no crits on you.
I got 2 crits and a regular, so I'll ignore 3 of those. So I will just take regular damage, which is 4 damage. All right, so my Shrieve Talon activated, and he's going to charge into his guy that came back over here. So my opponent's going to have 4 attacks, looking for 5 attacks, looking for 4s because he's wounded. I'm going to have 5 attacks looking for 3s with my Shrieve Talon over here. All right. So it is lethal 5+, so he's going to have 2 crits and a regular hit over here. 1 sec. Oh yeah, I'm just going to strike with a crit and incapacitate him there. Then my opponent's going to activate his warrior over here, who is going to move up and then shoot me with his Gauss Reaper. 4 shots here, hitting on 3s. I'm getting a crit and a regular hit. So that will be P1 now. So I'm going to have 2 defense dice looking for 3s or crits, but one of those 2. All right, just getting 1 regular. So I will do the regular. What's the damage on a crit?
5. Does
5 damage to me. And then my gunner with the plasma gun is going to activate, fire into his guy up here. I am going to supercharge with it, so it becomes AP2. So I'm going to have 4 shots here, hitting on 3s. That is going to be... Oh, and I can retain... This is going to be 2 crits because he is Zinchi, and I forgot about that. So he is going to be 5-6 damage. Yeah, you have the 1 die you could try to get... No, he's going to be dead. All right, so he is incapacitated. And then my opponent's going to activate this guy for Overwatch. He's going to have 4 shots, hitting on 4s now because he is Overwatching. Getting 2 hits there. So I'm going to have 3 dice for saves here because it's no crits, so no P1 taking into effect. Getting all saves, so he is good to go. And then my last guy is going to move and dash down over here, and that's going to be it. So I will score another 2 points for the primary. I've been getting 2 points for the primary because I've controlled more than my opponent. He's been getting 1 point for primary. I also scored a point for Savage Butcher for killing 2 with him. And I got the route when the Butcher killed over there. For an additional point there. So now we will roll off to see who will have initiative on turning point number 4, the last turning point over here. 3 and 4, so we'll be activating to the Necrons here on turn number 4. All right, so during the strategy step, we both gained CP. I spent 1 on Hateful Assault just in case I need it again. Allow me to fight twice. No revealing to be done in the attack ops here, I don't think. And then we are going to do over here. We had Resurrection Protocols, so we're looking for a 3. Oh no, yes, no, he's a 2+ because it is a Necron Warrior. And he does come back, so he'll come back with D3 mortal wounds. Yeah. D3 wounds? Yep. Coming back with 1 wound. Alright, so we will come back to you with a firefight step. Alright, my opponent's going to activate his warrior over here, who is going to shoot into my guy back over there.
4 shots.
So he's going to have 4 shots, hitting on 4s because he is hurt. Alright, it's getting 2 hits, no crits. No. I'm going to have 3 dice looking for 3s. Getting 2 saves, so he is good to go. And my Shrieve Talon's going to activate, coming over here, charging into his Dude Bro. So I'm going to have 5 attacks hitting on 3s. My opponent's going to have 3 attacks hitting on 3s as well.
We should do
Alright, lethal 5+, so that will become a crit. And 3 regulars. We'll come back to you. I'm actually going to spend a CP to reroll this, looking for another crit there. No, do not get that. Okay. Alright, so my opponent is going to... when I activated, I parried his crit here. He struck me with his other crit for 4 damage. And then I parried his last attack there. And then I did 6 damage with these attacks over here. And then because of Hateful Assault, I'm going to strike again. Or attack again with my 3rd APL over here. So it's going to be 5 attacks hitting on 4s for me, and my opponent's going to have 3 attacks hitting on 4s. Okay, yeah, that was really good. These are also crits. So technically I had 4 crits. I'll just strike with the first one, incapacitate him there. All right, now my opponent is going to activate his guy here for Overwatch, firing into me over here, hitting on 5s because of Wounded and Overwatch. No hits there. Gonna spend a CP, may as well.
It's my last hurrah.
Last thing here? No, nothing there. And then my Butcher activated, he took that objective and then charged into his guy over here. And now I'm going to attack him. 4 attacks hitting on 5s with that 1 crit. It is ceaseless or relentless technically, so I will just strike and kill him because he only has the 1 wound left. And he is incapacitated. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where the game ends, because that is all the Necrons dead at the end of the game here. And I will be managing to max out my secondaries there, and I will score an additional 3 points for primaries over there. So, a victory to the Legionaries. They held off the Tombworld for at least a little bit longer. They took some casualties and are limping, but they managed to hold the line for at least a little bit more of the Dark Mechanicum to get some more material to Abbadon and his Black Crusade as it marches on across the galaxy here and watching it burn. So, yeah, a brutal game. My guys are really good in combat, and I like it, and it's fun. That's why I like with the Legionaries. So yeah, that was a ton of fun. Yeah, a brutal game, but that's what to expect with things with named Butcher and Shrive Talon and such. So nothing very happy with any of these things, which is what the Legionaries like to do. So I hope you guys have all enjoyed this. I certainly have. I have been Phil, the Glacial Geek as always. My opponent's been Neil, and until next time, stay safe and have fun.